certainly immediately other than, and there is a problematic, there's an ideological and conceptual problem there. We all have attachment in different ways, either geographical or. The other thing that I thought about is the excellent article by Micah Hall, Double Exposure, which I don't know whether you did, and she has a fantastic semantic analysis of the problematics of ethnographic exhibitions in European museums and how the whole, she called it, I think, the expository voice or something like that. And what she actually says that curating the other is an act of power over the disempowered anyway. So, I mean, it's an interesting kind of problem, and I think that she's very, very kind of lucid and hard-hitting about it, and it's interesting, and I would like to ask you whether you feel that curating the other is an act of taking on cultural imperialism, and whether you would feel comfortable with it. Or you think it is not a kind of an act of cultural imperialism?
It's not the wrong, it's the wrong question.
Is it the wrong question?
No, not your question.
No.
I mean, to try and curate the other, I just think it's the wrong question. I mean, we're all other from each other, really.
Well, but other than has a.
I know, but it's just, it just seems like.
We are different. You're talking about differences, not the other that have to own.
Isn't your problem with curating as such? That's an expression of power.
Yeah.
But that's what Michael Moore
And that's what's kind of obvious in a way.
That's what she claims, yes. Because she talks about the expository or position or voice or something. I can't remember exactly, but she actually not only says to ask about funding, but whose narrative is it that you have seen, and how did that person come to have gained that power? That's exactly what happened.
Well, the question of the narratives is what was really raised here by each one.
Exactly, yes.
Which narrative you are serving by curating the other, but so it depends on the narrative if it's.
Well, but the narrative of power. This is the question.
Well, that's where perhaps it would be interesting for the surgeon to explore a little bit.
Yeah.
The theme as a whole, curating and tourism.
Yeah, well,
I'd like to hear a little bit more about what you mean by tourism. In fact,
Well, that's how
colonial explorer.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. I mean, I'll be talking about this tomorrow. It's basically what my lecture is going to be about. So, but I don't want to give away all my Exactly. But basically, yeah. I mean, it's nice what you're saying. Tourist is one thing, and explorer is another thing. And I'm talking about a practice that developed as part of the whole institutional system right now, in which the curator is not allowed to be an explorer. He doesn't have time, he doesn't have the resources, he's working for an institution, he's more like, and I'm quoting tomorrow, one of the main curators is tourism, which is Francesco Bonanni. He says that curatorial practice runs at least, I don't know exactly, to become like a cultural safari for souvenirs. And basically, I like this definition because lots of the shows, like the Power Station that we see here, they look exactly like that. I mean, they could just as well put the head of the artist, like, stuffed on the. And there's no real time or possibility to do an actual research. I don't think there is the methodology of an actual research in place for curating the other in a way, not the other artist or a person, but really this approach to a completely different civilization or culture, and try to juggle some kind of exhibition and say, this is representative. That's especially ridiculous when you take into consideration Africa or China or India. So places that are so varied, there are so many civilizations and culture that you can't possibly. You are cheating the public by representing this these exhibitions are as representative of this huge array of civilizations, basically. So my criticism is precisely this kind of globalized methodology of going there, say this and this and this, come here, this is China, this is Africa, this is whatever.
The problem with it, didn't you, that when you go to China, you need to become friends and you haven't got time.
Yeah, for instance, I mean, you really lack even the time or the human resources. We are not used to. I mean, me, yeah, because I'm from Israel, but normally you don't have the human resources to become friends with everyone you're dealing with. So it's a whole different way of dealing, and we are not capable of taking that. So yeah, my point was, I mean, what way out we have out of this kind of loop in which we curators are stuck because of the institution, because of the globalized, because of the market, because of this. That's one point. Yeah. The other point is that basically what's the way? There is a way out, and the way out is globalize the peripheral art and make it Occidental art. And this is what's happening in the end. That's my point is that we are missing the peripheral altogether. I mean, like in 10 years, there's not going to be anymore. All the artists in China and Africa, everywhere, are going to be perfectly occidentalized and fitting into our idea of art, because if we give them the possibility right now to, what I say, adapt or die. I mean, either we are going to give up on you, or you have to adapt and adopt our principles, our artistic principles, our market principles, and we are giving them a whole array of possibilities to do that. Like these residencies, we buy them, we have them shows, we give them. So there's a whole thing going on in order to globalize peripheral art, which is something that I see it's kind of happening in different layers and in different stages, in different places. Yeah. I mean, this is more or less my...
I think that there's something that I think that there's something that hasn't really been kind of talked about very much today, which is the enlivening kind of resistance to these dominant kind of narratives, and that's the artwork itself, and the way that artwork, tells its own complex, complicating, enlivening stories that often confuse and do away with the dominant kind of curatorial logic or narrative, if there is one, around nationality. And I'm thinking of artists, I mean, there's many examples, but a very obvious one is the Atlas Group. Look at the way that the Atlas Group operates in really kind of deconstructing and disturbing kind of narratives of history and geography and kind of a westernized notion of sort of a Western history and politics of
It's just a question of time. You've all got just a really short time to make this presentation. But I think it's in here.